again, welcome to the Aquino Stadium here in Manila. And here we go. Here are game officials. Noel Kilingen is leading this group. I'm Paulo De Rosario alongside Mark Molina, Coach Mark Molina. Bea Escudero joins us on the sidelines. We'll get to see her later on. Coach, early start here for the TNT Tropang 5G. Feels like they have to take advantage of this, considering that Magnolia, statistically speaking, are not one of the better teams in terms of starter points as we take a look at the very first point here.
And they not as aggressive, maybe still feeling out his role in this team. Maybe that's the reason why he's starting this game, because they want an aggressive Will Navarro on the offensive end. And they were looked for him in that possession.
First point of the game, courtesy of William Navarro. Nagdilang anghel si Coach Mark Molina, talking about his aggression. Here's Enciso, kicking that out to the corner. Dribble handoff, Pogoy, now to Williams. Great ball movement. Kelly Williams able to get the triple.
It's just amazing for Kelly Williams. There's Navarro taking advantage of Varilla.
Right there. Mark Baroka and Ian Sangalang haven't really been part of the offense early on here for Magnolia.
And they need to be.
They're feeding William Navarro aggressively here, Coach.
All 4 points in the game of Magnolia coming from William Navarro. But you can see the talent of this kid and the versatility on both ends of the floor.
It's as if Coach Chito Victorero challenged him to do more. Kelly Williams attacking the closeout. Calvin Octana in the corner, open for a few seconds. That's all he needed.
That's just great basketball coming from Kelly. He knew they would close out on him. Why not drive and kick? And that led to the open three-pointer of Octana. He's not going to get an assist because that was a hockey assist from Kelly Williams. But credit Kelly for that basket.
Ian Sangalang finishing in the interior on Navarro. Second chance, no good. Mark Baroka comes away with it. Quarterbacking here for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots as Mark Baroka the spin and the finish.
Mark Baroka always in control. He's not anymore that consistent guy who can give you 15 points a match every night, but he can still be very effective.
Class is permanent for Mark Baroka. Sometimes he doesn't even need to score to be effective. Great hands there from William Navarro. It's a 3-on-1 break. Mark Baroka saying, is anyone jumping? No, so he'll score.
And transition defense. Gentlemen, back to you.
Well, clear goal set there by Coach Chito Victorero. 23 assists. And Calvin Octana with the chase down on Ian Sangalang. Was a red-hot shooting start here for the TNT Tropang 5G, courtesy of that guy, Kelly Williams. And Jordan heading a turnover in his very first handoff. Here's Zabe Lucero attacking Brian Heruela. The extension, the size, the athleticism. Coach Chot Reyes not happy. He sues for time. Heading, plays it forward. Kobuntin. Now getting it to Eram. Eram settles for the jumper. That's good.
That's the pace that Chot Reyes wants to play with. They want to push the ball and then take advantage of opportunities in transition. They don't have to be fast break points, but when you're playing fast, you're going to get some open looks.
Yeah, don't necessarily play too quick, but play at tempo, the tempo that they want. Here's Zabe Lucero, able to get the basket and one. Zabe Lucero has arrived, Coach, as one of the pillars of this Magnolia franchise. Here he is getting it from Paul Lee. Coach, when we take a look at Zabe Lucero and the body of work that he has compiled so far, I think young actually with Jerome Lastimosa, William Navarro, then Zabe Lucero, and Jordan heading. Great signs here for TNT. Rafi Rivas does what he does best, getting the rebound, locating the shooter, but then Paul Lee can convert. Rafi Rivas, maybe a few years ago he could have chased down Paul Foy. Heading now. Hit 1-3 in the first quarter. Swings it around to the corner to Glenn Kobuntin. Lucero trying to stay in front of him. Maurin able to drain a three. But that time the defender wins. Maurin heading open for a second. Catch, shoot, unable to finish. Boy, Era. Great defense on one end. Follow up in the other. And all of a sudden, TNT up by 7, 28-21. After that last sequence, Coach. Boy, Eram right there.
These baskets are created by pace. They pushed that ball. Heading was open. When Heading took that shot, Magnolia was...
Here's Mark Baroka. Not happy with the look that he's seeing, by the way. Swings that around to Alfaro. Ball moving around here. Ian Sangalang unable to get the finish. William Navarro, offensive rebound and the basket and one. And you can see a bit of emotion here for William Navarro. I can only imagine the pressure that the young man has had because he has come in to one of start-off quarters with a bit more force here because that has been a trend that has worked to the detriment of Magnolia. RR Pogoy, what a fake from RR, attacking, going strong inside.
He's so good with that ball fake. He gets his defender in the air and then takes it strong to the basket.
Is it possible to still say that RR Pogoy is a bit underrated in terms of his offensive package? As we have Zave Lucero scoring from the elbow.
He has been very consistent, all confidence long. Look at that pull-up jumper from Zave.
Following Coach Mark over at the Magnolia huddle, Coach Chito Victorero reminded his players of two key things. Defensively, after giving up easy looks and collapsing on closeouts, left TNT shooters wide open. He called for much tighter and more disciplined coverage. Now, offensively, the focus was on patience, finding the best option and taking advantage of their size inside the paint to establish a rhythm and get high percentage shots. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much for that report. That was Be Escudero, almost on point though.
Zave Lucero. He also takes it strong to the basket. And then he also had
almost a turnover. Ian Sangalang had to put that up. Paul Lee collects, unable to score. Ian fights back and battling, and finally Magnolia score.
Second chance opportunities here from Magnolia, giving them this lead.
38-37 as Jordan Heading with a nice running floater. We go the other way. It's 4-on-4, and that time Zave Lucero gambled and won. Zave Lucero wide open corner. Paul Lee. That's a layup for Paul.
And that's why
playing at 100 miles an hour. Jerome Lastimosa to Paul Lee. Lee relocates for 4. Paul Lee. Have been an issue in this game for the TNT Tropang 5G, and this is an issue. You take a look at the shot from Paul Lee. Furious with the inbound, 6 seconds left. Lastimosa against Vosotros. He goes on the attack. And that is as pretty as it comes there for the Magnolia Chicken Timplados Hotshots. Here's Mark Baroka. Shooting it to the corner to Rom De La Rosa. Going downhill to Lucero. De La Rosa continuing that momentum.
Nice two-man action that time between Lucero and De La Rosa.
Jordan Heading working against Alfaro. Asking for some help from Calvin Octana. Boy Aram with the big screen. Octana trying to split the defenders. Oh, left wide open. That was a missed coverage, and he punishes them.
And how can you lose Calvin Octana when he is the one who, with the basketball?
This three-point shot is brought to you by Rexona. What a shot from Calvin Octana. Mark Baroka. Ian Sangala. Now Mark again. Mark on the attack, and Mark Baroka.
Something that he says has contributed to their 12 turnovers in the first half, which Magnolia quickly capitalized on. Now for Coach Sandy, it's about not forcing those plays and simply locking in on their defensive assignments. As for Magnolia, Coach Jason Webb credited his players for staying composed in the first 2 quarters, but moving forward, he reminded them to better recognize TNT's defensive shifts and react accordingly. He also emphasized tightening their perimeter defense, especially after seeing TNT's shooting percentage from deep. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for that report. That was Be Escudero. Now let's take a look at the three-point shooting of TNT. As they mentioned, he was shooting at 46.2% at the halftime break as Xavier Lucero able to score here for Magnolia to extend their lead. Coach, defense seems to be the priority of both these teams, and both these teams have had a hard time stopping certain aspects of the game for both these guys as our Pogoy to triple.
I was surprised to see Pogoy at 9 points in the first half, but no attempts from threes. That's his first one in this game, and he makes Magnolia pay.
55 all here. TNT starting off the quarter hot. As Ian Sangalang working on Poy Era. Trying to give him room, a little swipe, but then Ian Sangalang's a vet. You've seen that before.
And he's a handful if you give him that strong left hand dribble. Poy should take that away.
It is one of the most predictable plays in Philippine basketball. Ian Sangalang going to his left, but it typically works. Jordan Heading finding his groove here. only had 4 attempts in the first half, as this three-point shot's brought to you by Rexona.
That's TNT's basketball at its best. You have a pick and roll on one side, and then a shooter spotting up on the other side. Aram hitting him on the roll.
Mark Barroca. And we go the other way, courtesy of Calvin Oftana, running the floor, attacking Zave Lucero, but Lucero says not today. They were trailing by 6 at the start of the half. Then a different story here in the third, as Calvin Oftana takes it strong.
What a move there by Oftana, showing us that he can also be a creator on that pick and roll.
Lastimosa now to Navarro. Mark Barroca has it. Mark finding Navarro. He likes this matchup against Aurin. He has the size, he has the strength, he can shoot over him. He turns, he shoots, and he scores. Lastimosa. William Navarro trying to feed Zave Lucero, but Calvin Oftana wise to it. Kim Aurin, a nice finish as William Navarro sends it to the line for 2.
And this is what this unit will do. Tough defense will be the calling card of this unit, and then when can be the difference between twice to beat, and that's why Magnolia, what a shot.
Wow.
Xavier.
But just picture perfect.
That's a pull-up right in front of a good defender.
Glenco Buntin. Oh, that was an important swipe by Mark Barroca. They play it forward. And Rome De La Rosa scores under duress.
That's a strong move by Rome, and TNT really in a stray on the offensive end. Dear Rivas.
Impact Rafi Rivas, missed 4-pointer, and that will be against Rome De La Rosa. Rafi Rivas turning back the clock. I always joke with Rafi, what's the secret? What's the fountain of youth? He's found it definitely.
Paulie emphasized to his teammates that the fourth quarter would come down to execution, a message that Coach Jason Webb quickly echoed. He stressed that most of TNT's scoring came off Magnolia's defensive breakdown, so the focus now is on staying locked in to prevent any late runs. We'll be back with more of PBA action.
Well, talking about runs, Magnolia have been on one here, as that is a very long period without scoring here for TNT. And there is another uncharacteristic turnovers yet again, as they turn it over to Lastimosa here, up top, finding Zave Lucero, passing to Rafi Rivas, and he's been everywhere.
Quality minutes from Rafi Rivas, 4 points in the fourth quarter. And TNT has not scored, not just in this quarter, but in the last 6:45.
Will that end here? Boy Aram going inside. Wild shot, no good. Here's Lastimosa pitching it forward to Lucero.
Turnovers. And then look at that. Touch passing inside the paint there between Lucero. You usually have Jason there, or in their last championship, but Nambatak was there to provide the leadership and the execution in their offense. And now hustle plays going the way of Magnolia as well.
That is Jonicio with the basket. TNT, you're absolutely right, Coach. They're lacking the point guard of that type of quality of a Nambatak, of a Jason Castro. Jordan Heading, of course, was brought in to try and fill in there.
That is what Heading.
Here's Paul Lee. Find to Lucero in the interior. Oh, and what an up and under move. Enciso. Now to Cobuntin in the corner. That was much needed. Simon Enciso to Cobuntin. Quick trigger 3 off the mark. Galinato, big rebound. The spin, the basket, and 1.
Galinato is a strong body, very athletic for his size as well. Former teammates with Xavier Lucero at the UP camp.
So there's a lot for TNT to work on, as Pogoy will try to get the 4. Oh, he gets it. And all of a sudden, you can't make a mistake at this point, Coach.
It's down to a 3-point game. And now you can play the foul game here. What a shot by Pogoy. Defended well.
Vosotros almost lost the handle. He pulls up. And that'll do it. 5-point win here for the Magnolia Hotshots. 88-83. With that win, they secured a twice-to-beat advantage.